Hey, boss.
What is it, Clark?
Look, I know I'm not your favorite person these days.
You nearly got my brother and sister killed.
Well, that depends on which way you look at it.
Is there any other way to look at it, Clark?
You could see the glass as half full. I did get Amber to call Mountain Rescue. The way I see it, I saved their lives. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I have some great news.
Sales report.
We caught Forrester. We tied him. Isn't that wonderful? Of course, now's no time to rest on our laurels. Especially now that we're down one designer. I mean, don't get me wrong, firing Amber, it was the right thing to do, absolutely. But we're a little short-handed, especially if Ridge goes flying back to Forrester as he's bound to once he sees the sales report.
I don't think that will be happening anytime soon.
Hi.
Hey, any luck?
No, she didn't want to see me.
Well, at least you tried. Look, we already went over to her house last night, tried to see her. If Gabriella refuses to open the door to us, we have to respect that.
I do. I just hate seeing her go through this all alone. I mean, her mother was her world.
Look, we'll try to talk to her tomorrow after the service. Maybe she'll be more receptive.
Well, it's good to see you sketching again.
Feels good.
Given up the silly idea of retiring, have we?
I can't just stop sketching altogether. I love sketching. You know that. And after what happened to Helen, I just...
Yes, it certainly puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Makes you realize everything can disappear in just a heartbeat. God, I'd give anything to have her back. I'd give anything, Eric.
Am I too late for our regular 10 o'clock?
Brooke?
I didn't expect that you'd be in today.
Thanks, Megan. And screen all my calls. I have a lot of work to catch up on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shouldn't you be at home?
On the chance that Ridge might show up, I'm through waiting for him.
You should eat something. You need to get your strength back.
I need to get a lot more than that back.
Well, your memories will come.
Will they? I saw my own wife, Morgan. I didn't even recognize her. I didn't feel anything for her. She might as well be a complete stranger.
Well, that's because she has been a stranger to you for a while now.
Why? What went wrong with our marriage? She said I hurt her. Well, what the hell did I do? Did I fool around? I spend too much time at the office? Did I play mind games with her? What did I do?
No. She messed with your head, not the other way around.
Okay, how did she do that?
Well, you're apart now. What difference does it make?
What difference does it make? You try living like this. I feel like I'm in a black hole with 1,000 questions that have no connection to each other whatsoever. Who am I, Morgan? Who do I care about? Who cares about me? Got all these questions pounding through my head like a freight train. I feel like I'm about to explode. Tell me. Tell me everything. Help me.
So what do you think's going on with Ridge?
Off finding himself, I guess you could say.
Well, then it's a perfect time.
For what?
A full-on frontal assault. We strike now, there's no one to stop us. There's certainly no Ridge to stop us. We have got to come out with a collection to end all collections as soon as possible. Now, Sally thinks we need to bring another designer on board. Somebody who's talented, experienced, with Forrester training.
Good luck finding that.
Yeah. Well, Sally has an idea. She did a little digging. And, she came up with this.
Morgan DeWitt?
You had a severe concussion, Ridge. Your brain needs time to heal. And that means taking things at a natural pace. See, if I force these memories
Well,
on
you think that's gonna be any more traumatic to me than what I'm going through right now? Imagine how I feel, Morgan. Hearing you talk about how amazing our relationship is, and I just feel numb to it. Look, I want to be able to take you in my arms and make love with you. But I can't. I can't move on with my life until I put the pieces of my past behind me somehow to make sense of all of it. And you're the only one that can help me do that.
All right, I'll tell you, but you're not gonna like what I have to say.
You mentioned something about my family not treating me well.
It's what they put you through. Starting with Brooke, who has a habit of jumping from bed to bed. She broke up your parents' marriage, and then a few years later did a repeat performance with your younger brother and his wife.
My brother?
He grew up in your shadow, and he spent his whole life resenting it, and it caused a lot of problems between the two of you.
In what way?
Well, you were rivals for the same women, the same jobs. But the bottom line is that he's never been able to get past the bond you share with your father. Or the man that you thought was your father.
Well, wait, what are you saying here?
Your real father is a man that you didn't know until recently. Your paternity was kept secret.
By whom?
By the woman who pulls all the strings and plays God with your family and anyone that she comes in contact with, your mother. She lied to her husband, she lied to you, to the entire world, and passed you off as their son. But that was just one of the many lies. Your mother is a master at telling them, at manipulating and deceiving. She even did it to me. She wound up taking away the two most important people in the world to me. You and our baby.
You're not giving up on Ridge.
No, never. I didn't fight a lifetime to be with him just to surrender. But I can't stay at home, Stephanie, waiting for the phone to ring, for a car to drive up the driveway. It's just making me crazy.
Look, you haven't had a wink of a sleep. I can see that. And you haven't eaten anything either. I'll have Megan send out for something.
No, don't bother.
You've got to take care of yourself now. You probably should eat something.
If you really want to do something, maybe you could find a good private investigator.
I could call Lieutenant Baker and get some recommendations from him. I'm sure he'll keep this thing private.
Well, wait, I don't know that this is the wisest thing to do. In the email, he told you he wanted time alone.
Ridge didn't write that email. I don't care if his name is on it. He would never say those things to me, and he wouldn't neglect his children like that. He's a good, decent man. And if he's not at home with his family, then something's wrong. Maybe he's in trouble. Whether he's hurt or he can't contact me directly, I don't know. But I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna bring him home.
Has Sally lost her mind? Morgan DeWitt was put away years ago. She's not free to join our design team. She's not free to do anything.
She's been released.
Yeah, well, this woman is crazy and she's dangerous, Clark.
You don't have to tell me about that. I was almost killed by her pet python, Patsy.
This woman is obsessed with my brother. Now, we need to keep her as far away from us as possible, Clark.
No, we don't have a child.
you just said.
I got pregnant when I was 17. I was too young, I know. But when I realized that I had your baby growing inside of me, oh, Ridge, I loved you so much. And the thought that you and I had conceived a child together. I used to fantasize about the house we'd get and about how you and I would sit at night in the nursery and read to our little boy. And then we would put him to sleep and we would stand over him for hours and hours just watching him. And he would have this expression on his face, like he was curled up on a cloud, warm, safe, happy. There was only one problem. I wasn't sure that you would share in this fantasy. Because at the time, you were living in the fast lane, cars, clubs, jet-setting around the world. And I was afraid that maybe you would think a baby would tie you down, so I turned to the one person I could for advice. Your mother.
Why would you turn to her for advice when she was so deceptive to you?
Because my mother was unavailable, and your mother made me believe that she was my friend. She put her arm around me. She told me how beautiful I was and how I had my whole life ahead of me, and why would I want to ruin it with a child, is how she put it. And she didn't stop there. No, she told me I would ruin your life too. If you saddle him with a child, he will wind up hating you.
And you believed her?
I was a teenage girl. I didn't know any better. I mean, she had this way of reeling me in with all her compassionate hugs and words, and she asked me to trust her. And I did. Even when she drove me down to the private clinic. And she forced me to abort my baby.
Oh, Morgan, I'm sorry.
And then she put me on a plane back to the East Coast, told me I needed time to heal. But you see, I couldn't heal. No, not like other women who just pick up the pieces and move on.
What happened to you?
Just years of therapy. Emotional problems, depression. I just felt like I had no joy in my life. I had lost my ambition and my goals and myself. I just couldn't get past the guilt and the pain.
Well, if anyone should feel guilty, it should be my mother.
Oh, well, she doesn't.
Even knowing what she did to you.
Stephanie could care less about what she put me through. Or me. I mean, how could she? She has no heart. I was a naive girl. And she forced me to abort that baby. I mean, a human being with feelings would have... She would have told me to go to you so that you and I could figure out the fate of our child together, but no, she deprived us of our choice. She deprived us of our own flesh and blood, and she deprived us of our child, Ridge. And for that, I will never forgive her. Never.
No, you're not doing a stitch of work today, all right? We're going to get a meal into you, and we're going to take you home.
I'll go with you and spend the afternoon with you and the children if you'd like.
That's a good idea. Then I'll join you later. I'll cook for everybody. No arguing.
I wasn't going to. Actually, I get a little nervous in the house with the kids after dark.
Maybe one of us should move in for the time being.
Nick already offered.
Nick?
You didn't take him up on that.
And what if I did?
Well, I don't think it's appropriate.
You don't have to worry, Stephanie. I turned him down.
You did?
Why should Nick or anybody stay at the house when Rich is going to be home any day now? Megan, will you get Lieutenant Baker on the phone, please? Thanks. It's time for answers.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm better now.
Thank you for telling me the truth.
Did it help?
I still can't really picture any of the people you're talking about. It's so strange. I know it's got to come back to me eventually, but at least I have a better idea what I'm up against.
And who's on your side?
I wish I could have spared you from my mother.
When I think about how different our lives might have been, all those years I spent fighting my demons, and you, tied to a woman who doesn't deserve you.
From what you told me, it makes sense to me now why I felt nothing when I saw Brooke. I had to use your phone.
What?
I need your phone. Is it in here?
Why do you need my phone?
I want to call Brooke.
No, Rich, you can't. It'll only upset you.
Morgan, I think the only way I can put all this to rest is to call Brooke and give her a piece of my mind.
You're gonna tell her off?
When she walked out of here, she had the last word. Well, now it's time to have my say.
All right. I'll dial the number. But please leave me out of it.
No, don't worry. This is between my wife and my ex-wife and me.
You've been a big help, Lieutenant Baker. I will. Bye. Okay. You said that these investigators are fast and reliable, so
You call this list. I'll call these.
I'll use my cell phone. Megan, I need my briefcase, please.
Stephanie, be sure and stress we want to keep this thing out of the press.
Yes, is a Mr. Rocker there, please?
I just heard your cell phone ringing here, but I couldn't get to it to check the caller ID, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Stephanie Forrester, and I was recommended to your company by Lieutenant Baker of the Beverly Hills Police Department.
Oh, it's Ridge. He left a message.
Oh, let me call you back, please.
Is that off speakerphone?
Brooke, I was hoping you'd be there. I wanted to say this directly to you, but I guess this is as good a time as any. Considering everything you've said and everything we've been through, I've decided we're better off apart. That goes for me and my family, too. They turned their backs on me. Now I'm turning my back on all of you. Getting on with my life. You should get on with yours.
What the hell is he doing?
We're better off apart. I'm getting on with my life. Wait, is he serious?
That was Ridge. That was really his voice.
That's not my son talking.
Why is this happening? Why is he doing this?
Now, look, get a hold of yourself and don't let this affect you.
Maybe you were right. Maybe Ridge has had enough. Maybe he's already at his breaking point. Oh my God. Could this really be the end?
No, it's not. I promise you, Brooke, it's not. I promise you.
It can't be over. Please, Ridge, please come home. Please.